All right. Good afternoon, good morning, or morning, as I like to say, everyone. We've got the number two qualifier for the Zooter SGL online tournament here, and I'm with Derpy. How are you doing today, Derpy?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. We actually got a very good pair of runners here between Drunus and Decker, or Duba Decker. Two very good runners, top 64 runners from the main tourney, and they're also Team Dad from the multi-world tourney as well. So they're very well known in the scene. Very good runners.
Like I feel like I've commentated some of their multi-world
I would not be surprised. They
matches
went pretty
before.
deep.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to get to commentate this qualifier. SGL qualifiers are always a good time.
Yes, it is. I've been enjoying the settings a lot. I played in Qualifier 1 and suffered with everyone else. So
Yeah,
we
see,
actually
I've hit the point where I don't play. I just commentate.
Yeah, I'm still enjoying, he's still improving. So we do have a little bit of a special seed here. It's a 1 in 9 chance for this to happen. Generally with SGL seeds, you get one, you have a free what's in Link's pocket is free, and then the light medallion, the dungeon is completed and essentially foolish. There's nothing in there. In today's case, the light medallion's in Link's pocket, so we do not get the free dungeon completed. It's a 1 in 9 chance.
Yeah, so that means any items could be any dungeons today. So our runners might need to actually check out all the different dungeons.
Yep, this could be a true all dungeons, unlike yesterday's AD seed, quote unquote AD seed, which are a little bit different. AD being if Burning Cack has a required song, which it did yesterday morning for us in the US. So we're also starting only with Epona here, which is not the best song to start with.
Yeah, that only really helps the early adult stuff, helps you get around Hyrule Field a little quicker, but yeah, not necessarily your prime. You probably prefer a Warp song or even
Highly prefer a Warp.
ZL, even Sun Song. I'd maybe argue over Epona so you can control your time of day better.
Yep. Have you been watching much of people practice SGL, or are you really just starting into these settings?
I've been watching a bit of SGL practice, so I think I got a good idea of the settings.
Yeah.
Obviously, we need the 3 spiritual stones for the boss key, or not the boss key, the Rainbow Bridge. Ganon's Castle boss key is on the vanilla light arrow cutscene, so Shadow and Spirit medallions, whatever dungeons those roll are required. I always enjoyed that version of the settings. I think it adds a nice little dynamic than just, hey, get all your medallions.
It does, and actually changes the hint structure a bit. It rolls paths for the stone dungeons first, and then the medallion dungeons, and it can cause a little bit of finicky logic because of how it does it. Because I would have to go and read the exact wording, but according to what Ella, who helped code some of these settings, if it's a path item required for a stone dungeon, it can't be on the path to a medallion dungeon type. Like, it can't be the path item for that. So it's a little bit weird. It can cause some interesting things, but we're about to start here, and this is vanilla adult spawns.
Yeah, the Hatsune Miku over on Decker's side.
Yep, the classic.
Yeah.
The other interesting thing about these settings is there are 4 foolish locations, and we got Hyrule Castle, Haunted Wasteland, Market, and Lake Hylia. Lake is a good one. Lake and Market are big.
Is it set to have all those 4 foolish right there?
Yes. Yep,
Okay.
and there's no extra copy.
And,
Hyrule Castle and Wasteland are kind of bad foolish areas. They don't really give you much. Oh! We got our first split.
Setting the time of day to night by walking into Ganon's castle there.
So this means Drew will actually be going up river first, and then by the time you get back down, it'll be daytime. So this is an interesting split here. What it also allows Drew to do is get the money at the top of river. You can get 60 pretty free. I'm a fan of going river after CAC because you can save quit to keep time of day, or depending on your warp songs, you can get out. But if you find like Scale or Iron Boots, you can actually go adult SFM and get the song there. So
Yeah. You know, I definitely I've never been a big river early, so I'm interested in seeing how this works out for Dreams.
So it's actually really strong because you get 3 checks and 3 hints, and hints are very strong in path-based settings.
Yo, Stone of Agony though.
Seed starting us off strong. We did forget to shout out to our trackers, Mira and Shinnok. Thank you again. They're always helping out. Well, Mira is helping to organize this whole thing, but just like Triforce Splits. But Shinnok has been a tracker in many, many, many different tourneys and weeklies. So thank you to both of them.
All right, ooh, we got a big chest.
Target in the Woods is dead.
Yeah, so arrows on there. Ooh,
Bombs.
bomb bag. All right, I'm convinced on the early.
So this is actually really
bias. I'm convinced.
Yeah,
it's a good point.
It's really good for that's ZL in the windmill there. This is really good for Drew.
Baronade.
GTG to Baronade, okay. This is really good for Drew because if DC is a dungeon, or even if it isn't one you need, it's quick and a lot of checks and a wallet.
It's nice. I always love this glitchless jump here to get over to that item as an adult.
Yeah, and it's really easy too. So Drew, what happened there was he slightly ran to the left. You need to go forward. Oh, hook shot in the shield grave.
Seed is just giving us good items right off the start.
That was yesterday's Seed, so it can turn from jet to monster really quickly.
I did not see the hint that Drew read on the bottom stone there. Drew
Lost was devolve is what the chat said.
I slightly missed that one.
I did too. The GTG hint depends what it is for Javu. We can get over there with Eponas. I'm more interested to see what the song in the graveyard is, since we have ZL right away. I think the runners are hoping for warp songs.
Honestly, the fact that Drew is going to come out of this with a hook shot, a bomb bag, ZL, like, man, that's a dream start right there.
Yeah, the bomb bag is really strong, but I expect Decker to go upriver after this. We'll see though.
Yeah, that's always something where I think if you get a couple items early, it could slip your mind very easily. Or if, all Decker pulls is the hook shot, then absolutely, I think that's just a free...
Oh, and there we got our stone. So Forest Temple, Fire Temple I saw for stones. The forest was the Goron, Sapphire, Fire was the not Sapphire. Forest was the Goron Ruby, and Fire was the Zora Sapphire. I didn't catch the rest though. Drew being too quick.
The Redead Grotto here, if that was a big chest, would have been big for Drewness, because Decker would have had to come back to CAC after getting the bomb bag to check that. But the fact that it was just a small chest, that helps Decker out for sure.
Okay, we got Water and Spirit and then Javu. So DC is not a required dungeon today.
Also, I believe we just saw a blue rupee and a blue rupee on 20 and 30. Chickens, oh, more blue rupees. Alright, so yeah, what song, if you were running this seed, what song are you wanting to pop up here?
Ooh, we just got Boomerang there. Probably any warp song, well, besides Serenade. That's Song of Time, so interesting. Purposely taking a death by Decker. I guess it's faster, maybe?
Yeah, then side hopping all the way back out. Yeah, Song of Time probably would have been at the very close to the bottom of my tier list of songs that I would have wanted to pull there.
They do have to do water, so it could become important, and GTG. Boomerang was, yeah, it was the Impo's cow or Impo's house.
Decker will probably get it right here, so you'll see it again.
Yep, and so Decker doing this routing actually makes me think he is going to go river, because if you were just going to prelude and be done, you could have checked these otherwise. But this route leads you back to the entrance of CAC, so...
No, I completely agree with that. This route screams heading up river now.
And with prelude start, you're not really punished. You of course need to save time of day, in case you don't get anything. But you can actually get the first 2 checks depending on your execution and still make it outside. Not in time for Lon with that, but you can get the first check and still make Lon time. It's really execution based if you can get the Grotto and still make Lon time.
Yeah, so obviously we've had our 2 runners kind of just with the same starts, different order. Where would you head? You have a bomb bag, you have a hook shot, you have a boomerang. Are you heading child after this? Are you gonna go check DC even though it's not required? What would you do here?
As Drunus, I'd be going to DC. Mainly because you're still in Kakariko and you can go straight up, right? His routing by going river first, and that's where the bomb bag was, makes it flow a little bit better there. Decker, I would... It's a bit of a hike to go back up the mountain. I expect Decker to probably go child here and try and make the Lon cycle, and because they don't have to get the jump there, Decker will be able to get the bomb bag and save again, and save time of day here to make Lon cycle. So that's the split I expect, just due to the difference here between going up river first or going up river afterwards, and just because the bomb bag was there.
Yeah,
which we're about to see on Decker's side.
I completely agree with that. That's what I was gonna say. It seems like we're gonna get a big split here because of the way these routes have changed, and it'll be interesting to see which one pays out a bit more.
And I could actually see, because we have the hook shot, I could see Drunus doing the Goron City Death Mountain Crater loop and then going to DC, or skipping DC entirely and just getting the song in adult Sacred Forest Meadow and seeing Kakiri Forest, Mido's house as adult. Some of these runners, because it's not required, we'll skip it for later. We'll just have to see what Drew decides. I would personally do it. I might do Goron City, Death Mountain Crater, get everything there, and then jump down from the top, since you have to anyways, to go to Dodongo's Cavern, so you don't have to climb up twice. But
yeah, no, it's hard to, it's not required. It's one of those things, it's when DC is a stone, when you're on the 6 medallions. It's hard to leave that there. And yeah, we see Drew actually taking advantage of Song of Time here and using it in an attended spot to get out of the grave.
And the interesting part is this points to Drew going up the mountain even more. Drew left the open grotto and the man on roof until the end there. So this points to Drew going up the mountain, because yeah, he's gonna jump here to go the hole there, and then he'll climb up the ladder and do man on roof.
Get his lovely Stone of Agony. Oh, yeah. We actually have Decker leaving Market?
So because of the wallet at the top, Decker decided to prelude, and Decker lost time of day.
Also checking Boulder outside here to spend some of that time of day. But you could still get the nighttime child checks and Market. But you
can't actually get out. You can't get out unless your random spawn allows you. So, ice to Twin Rova. So we are going ice today.
Rush ice. Yeah, we're getting Epona. So Decker might be heading, clearing out Hyrule Field.
Early GTG with the hook and bombs, and Song of Time. You can get quite a bit.
It was hinted. It was one of our paths. So
Just as a very early GTG. Oh, and there's a shield on top of Dodongo's Cavern.
Team never buy a shield wins out again. Alright, yeah, but does Decker go down and clear out the boulder, the grotto in front of Lake Hylia, or does Decker just take the right here? Alright, Decker's just heading straight to GT. This will be interesting. I mean, you could do a decent amount in GTG right now, so.
There's only, well, let's count the checks you can't do. The 2 ice switch at the front, the ice switch in the back, the scarecrow check, the Pierre in there, but because it's locked behind Bo, but you can peek that. You really get quite a big peek here, and especially with bombs and Song of Time, you can do a lot, like you said.
Yeah, and I mean, chest size matches content, so you'll know if there's something in the middle, and like you said, you can peek a lot of these other checks. Big
Goron is dead. Yep. So I'm actually wondering if Drew was looking for rupees opening the small checks, or doesn't realize that bomb chews are in big chest now in this depth branch.
Yeah, not sure, but we did see a big chest on top of the fortress, which Decker does have access to with that hook shot, and we got a slingshot in Dodongo's.
Yep.
Not the item you want to see popping out of a big chest.
Not at all. Yep, Decker's struggling with shieldless. The guard here, the Gerudo guard.
Slingshot especially not useful because target in the woods already hinted dead. So, actually a very completely useless item.
Yeah, the chat counted up 9 checks you can't do in GTG, and it might be a little bit more than that, but you can peek the other ones you can't do. It's just not a big deal.
It's gonna feel really bad for Drew if there's just that slingshot in Dodongo's.
Could be important. You never know.
Well, we know target in the woods is dead.
That is true, but it can be used for Child Spirit. That's a big,
we have
big grade for it.
Boomerang.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's really no use for it then.
It's very much a useless item at this point. It has those uses, but
not with Boomerang.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, if it was only like bomb chews as the other option, then it's like, oh yeah, absolutely, give me that slingshot. But
did either of our runners check the 20 and 30 skull hints?
Yeah, they were both blue rupees.
They're both dead.
And yes, for chat, free scarecrow is on.
Yep, free scarecrow. What else? 40, 50 skulls are off. 20 and 30 in the skull house. Lens of Truth.
And magic away from treasure chest game.
That's something you never want to see because it's literally only crossing logic and treasure chest game in these rule sets. So
the 2 big chests our runners have found on these paths have been probably the 2 items you don't want to see coming out of big chests: a slingshot and a lens of truth.
So it looks like the top one's a big chest as Drew's going for it. So Drew finding another item. Let's see what it is.
Decker going for the Song of Time side first, which makes sense.
Light arrows. So
well, those are needed.
Required DC dip.
Yeah,
and really, like doing the last 2 checks don't take long. So
yeah. And Decker getting fire arrow. This is strangely symmetrical, despite them being on different routes.
Yep. I'm wondering if Decker went here hoping to get a quick Rudo's letter and be able to do Jabu Child 1. Maybe that's why we're seeing
getting access to Ice Cavern as well, which has been hinted if you do pull that. Those irons?
Irons as well. Hey, we can do toilet now. And another big chest.
Alright, middle is dead. That is a small chest.
Hovers. Oh my gosh. And we're at 1 key. Oh, and we need 5. So we need 5 keys to get to that chest. 7 logically, 5 practically.
Oh. I'm just gonna make the joke. Hatsune Miku just going shoe shopping in GTG right now.
Yep. But that opens up a lot of potential for where Rudos could be. Could be in Shadow, which is a non-required medallion. It could be in Water Temple. Could be Icy Waters. That could be logic for Fire Temple, right? To beat the boss for something, or to climb higher in Fire, like the hovers, I mean. So, unfortunately, and Fire Arrows could be Spirit Key logic, right? It's a lot of, yeah.
Yeah, and it's yeah, not necessarily the items you want to see, but we did obviously see that other big chest, so that could also just be the item you want.
Yep.
We're getting small key 2 right here, so 3 more. You can head over. You could do hook shot list and obviously get a couple more checks. Oh wait, no, we have hook shots.
We have hook shots, so yep.
Yeah.
That only gives you 2. Unfortunately,
there might be some in the maze, so Decker might be able to get to that other big chest.
it is. We could not see. He's actually going to do toilet, which makes sense here if you're looking for keys for that big chest. Hovers though make this really easy. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, hovers, iron, and Song of Time is just like the perfect combo here to actually make toilet not the worst check in the world.
Yep, we're getting a sub 20-minute toilet. We are blessed today.
Yeah, this might be the earliest toilet ever done.
This makes a lot of sense, given that you've seen that big chest. Like,
oh yeah, no, you want to get 5 keys. You want to get 5 keys so you don't have to come back here. And
yep.
until maybe strength 2, but even then it's just not exactly like your. I mean, GTG is never the easiest place to get back to once you've left it.
No, it's not. Not until you get Requiem, at least, and then it becomes just a reverse away. Oop, just barely missing that. Drunus going to Goron City as expected. Drunus is probably going to do Goron City, the Death Mountain Crater Loop, into Adult, Lost Woods, SFM, and Kokiri.
Out with a key.
Yep, that's good. There, like you said, there could be a key in there. We could not see what was behind the big chest. That's 5 key locked. So there could be one there, and there could also be one in the upper part of the maze there.
Double small chest in the.
That looked like Final Frog's reward was nothing.
Big Goron sword, actually.
Oh, Goron, well, nothing. You're not gonna do Final Frogs for Big Goron sword.
Oh no, not at all. That heart chest on the left there, so May's completely dead. So yeah, so the light arrows out of Dodongos is your Drunus probably not the only thing you want to see there making that dip.
No, you'd like to see something to progress, but now you know everyone has to do it. Yes, they save a little bit of time. Oh, magic for Drew.
Once again, we now have logic for treasure chest minigame.
We also have Feora's Wind as they start with Feora's Wind in inventory. So that means that the runners can, well, Drew can start making use of that right away. So that's very good. It's always nice to see.
I think that was a key behind this next locked door. So Decker would just need one more.
Not there.
Wall glass, that's a key.
And that key's not available. Oh, is that a key in the back? I couldn't tell.
I thought right behind the next locked door there was one, but maybe I just missaw the chest.
Decker probably wouldn't have gone for it because missing the one key,
yeah.
So...
No, yeah, it wouldn't have gotten more checks, but I'm just like, I think there's one more.
Ooh, that's Minuet. That's very good.
Yeah, that's a really good song to pull. Because that will just chain into another song now for Drunus.
And of course, doing the first check in Fire Temple, especially now that you got Minuet, it makes... Well, you want to check the rest of DMC, but...
It'll make getting out of here a lot smoother. Yeah, dropping Furores, because might as well. You don't have Bolero, so this will be a quick way back to Fire Temple, which is a required temple.
Yep. Drew using the wallet full of money there to buy the Goron tunic to not have to worry about this. And that looks like your lot hammer. Oh no, it's a key, so we get 2 more checks. We'll see if Drew decides to actually do those checks or not. I personally would. It doesn't take much to do Lava Room.
I'm like, you're in here. You bought the Goron tunic. You probably do these 2 checks.
Yep. Of course, seeing Decker do all this without a shield is always fun to watch. Oh, and not a key. So unfortunately, Decker cannot get that chest in there. So this trip here, it could. I mean, hovers and irons are big.
But
and now we're gonna see Decker go child.
Leaving that one chest behind definitely doesn't feel. All right, we got another key.
It definitely wouldn't feel good.
Love how the leak just turns into a sword.
Yeah. This adult one for both these runners has been very fruitful. I mean, the GTG play, I mean, it kind of feels bad to leave that there, but you did get hovers, you did get irons, and you got fire arrows. All 3 could be path, like, you know, they're on the path potentially, and they're all required besides hovers. But
wow, we got double keys in the lava room.
So do you climb here? That's the biggest question.
I mean, you have Aurora, so you could drop it higher up.
I'm interested to see what Drew will do. Nope, leaving. I don't blame him, because you can get bow locked in here. You could just be key locked because the other keys are in the hammer section, and Drew dropped Feoras as well, so it's really not a big deal to come back later. And really at this point you're kind of going, what's in child, right? If someone went child earlier, he hasn't really found anything that super progresses you in the seed logically right now. Oh, the climb. Yeah. It feels bad.
Yeah, it's a very long ladder here. So yeah, so what Drew will get, obviously he'll finish off caverns here. Has ZL, so he can do the fairy fountain at the top. Nothing there. I did not see what was in the wall. Were you able to catch?
No, but if it's something, we'll see it soon. It's probably nothing. It looked like a bloopy, but the way Drew peeked it, it was hard. He's probably actually gonna do the roll here. Another bomb bag.
All the explosives.
So even if people didn't go upriver, see, that's the downside, is when it's an item that has multiple copies and they're early, like this, like anyone who didn't go upriver would just get it child right away, right? Go on child immediately after CAC. Lost Woods devolve again.
So that could be a good amount nicely, and a couple things to help out with Volvagia. And they're just getting paid to play an ocarina by Malin.
It's just a red rupee was in the wall. Oh, so the that is the thing for anyone not used to these settings. Because we start with Prelude, one of our song checks is actually an item. So you can't have actual items beyond one of the song check. It has happened before. I had a hammer on the Prelude song check, which locked the rest of the seed. So Lon Lon would be foolish, I would say. I would say here.
Well,
the bomb bag, I guess it can't be.
Yeah, like at the bomb bag, it wouldn't be foolish. It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
For at least the 2 runners, but
long shot. That was Death Mountain Trail Fairy.
That was
immediately warping.
The instant Drewness gets those iron boots, Water Temple.
Yep. So we got Sun Song, Adult SFM, GTG to Baronade Part 2.
The double shoes. Just getting more money by killing the club man here.
Oh, getting unlucky though. That's the lowest amount you can get. Best you can get is 60.
3 chickens on Decker's side. That's all you need.
Jabu Stingers is dead. And I saw a bomb bag on Shadow Trial 2. It's the bomb bag.
We do know Secret Forest Meadow.
Yeah, I mean, I think after this, because Drew has minuets, I would personally just go Child because you're gonna come back here as Child anyways, right? So save Midos for that, but Drew may choose differently.
May want to go do Midos and then route into heading to GTG.
That would be an interesting play here for sure.
That's what I'm thinking by staying in here and doing stuff, because there's no point to go back into Front City. You've already done that.
Ooh, Decker actually going up the mountain here as Child. That is interesting.
So you're gonna do Goron City as a Child. Obviously,
that was
the
Sun's
magic
Grave.
Yeah, which we did just get Sun Song, but what item was in Sun Song Grave?
Nothing. It was a rupee or something, or a heart.
Serenade on Ravage Village, so
it is not an all dungeon today. Blue Fire. Maybe Drew is hoping. Oh, Mirror Shield. There we go. We need that. So Mido pan out. Yeah, Drew just going Child. Probably with the Ice Cavern hint, Drew was probably hoping to find a bottle or something to make that play.
Did find a bottle with Blue Fire.
Yeah.
I mean, Paradox Letter could be in play.
Except where that Blue Fire is. I'm thinking that it's probably that chest in GTG, or it's leading from one of these items with our other hint, because we have logical access to Jabu right now, and we have Boomerang. So, oh, and there's another thing of Blue Fire. Wow.
Wow, double Blue Fire. Oh no, I agree that it probably isn't, but I'm also I want to see the complete meme of Paradox Letter. It's all fun.
For anyone wondering, like there's some questions about crossing and stuff. That SGL follows the standard rule set, so anything that's allowed in the standard rule set, so the season 6, it's all allowed here. What is it? The King's Aura skip or Wheat skip, right? Is allowed as well, unlike the season 6 tourney. But so standard rule set here. So any trick that's normally allowed is allowed.
So we see Drewness now as a Child as well. Just gonna do chickens, which we know is just some rupees.
So that's what happened. It's a CAC spawn. So Child spawn is random here. I was wondering how Decker got there while I was paying attention to Drewness, and it's just a save quit from the back of Lon Lon. So that makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even register that.
Graveyard specifically, yeah. So nothing in Spinning Pot today. So what are we actually missing here? Strength, bow, hammer? 2 strengths, bow, and hammer.
Yeah, 2 strengths, bow, and hammer.
And that's for us to be in no mode.
Well, now we know where lights are.
Oh, and Rudos. That's the other thing. Rudos letter. That's the last one. So.
Yeah, that's for 30 minutes into the seed. That's not a ton left to find.
Nope, and likely there's still a big chest in GTG with a lot of other checks as well. Drew has Sun Song, so this is not a problem getting to Lon Lon.
which we know will give Drew nothing.
Yep,
Nothing of
unfortunately.
importance.
A bomb refill. It's always
We'll
nice to get them.
Fill up the wallet. Get 200 rupees from Alan.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Will be interesting to see the song here on Child Side Sacred Forest Meadow, because all we've seen so far in here is a small chest and Sunside. So what, is this going to be just Bolero? No, it can't be Bolero though, right? For Path of Ovagia?
Path of Ovagia. Well, Path of Ovagia is Lost Woods. So,
Oh, Lost Woods. I thought it was Sacred Forest Meadow, my bad.
which that makes sense why Drew was checking that the scrubs there, because if you just pull a hammer there, you can go back and try and beat fire. What do we know about skulls so far? 20 and 30 skulls are dead, 40 and 50 are off in these settings, and no one's done 10. So just a 10 skull seed today.
10 skulls you just get along the way, and then you put it in right whenever you're over there.
I kind of expect both runners to go ice on their next adult play and do the King Zora skip. We get Staria's song, Vanilla. GTG. I saw another GTG.
Yeah, that was the second one.
That was the second one, right? We had already seen all these hints. That is correct on Drew's side.
Yeah, but Saria's song gives another check in Lost Woods.
It does, and it could very well be needed. It also gives you another check in Goron City as child, which unfortunately Decker already did all of that. So we should get one more hint here out of Lost Woods with the scrub.
Yeah. The rupee scrub down by the bridge.
It's interesting, the two runners are going to be close to synced up here, as Drew is now heading there, with the major difference being Drew has done DC, Adult Goron City, and dipped into Fire and DMC, where Decker actually made a trip out to GTG and got the irons and hover boots and fire arrows.
And both of them need to do what the other one did.
Dead Hand in the Well is dead. Those were both junk items. Skull Kid was hinted earlier and we missed it, so Skull Kid is dead.
So
it's not an extra check. So it's looking like that's well, we know Target in the Woods is dead, so the item is then on the Ogrina game, because we've seen everything else.
What about Skull Mask? Is Skull Mask not on?
So when you have a path, it cannot be an always hinted item. You can't have something hinted twice, basically.
All right. Well then, yeah, then we'll see it right here.
So Target in the Woods was hinted dead in River, is what we saw, Thunder. So it should be right here. This is the only check left. So currently we are only missing 2 sometimes hints. They're both actually dual sometimes hints. You get 3 dual hints and 5 some single hints. Hammer! There we go.
Well,
So
that's gonna send Decker to Adult Crater to also get the long shot.
Yep, and to also potentially beat Fire here. But that's where Decker was going to go anyways, is up the mountain with bombs, right? It's either that or going to the southern field as Lake is dead. Getting a second blue fire. I could definitely see Decker going ice first as well, is a big potential. Two bottles of blue fire. You can unfreeze the king, and you can have the early fire for inside of ice. So
yeah, no, it definitely would be on my mind with having 2 blue fires already just bottled up for you.
Yep, and it's a path, so path to Twin Rova, so that could we already have Mirror Shield, so I'm thinking that's a strength. So doing that first and then fire gives you the potential you don't need the strength for fire, but it just gives you another option there.
logically, you need the strength for fire.
Yeah, but neither of these runners actually need the strength for fire.
That's one of those dungeons where it's just like, yeah, no, the strength's a suggestion.
Yep. So this is one thing Drew is going to get over Decker doing the dance stat check here, where Decker did not go back for it. Which, understandably, not going back for it, but
if this
if
is
there's something here, yeah. Now, one thing the runners have to keep in mind, we're still missing 2 paths. Each of them has seen, well, maybe Decker has not seen the ice cavern. I forget where that was. But they've seen them. With Lake being dead and 3 hints there, if you're ever in the area or we get Serenade, oh, we're not going to get Serenade. That's all dungeon. So, oh, those hints are going to stay unread. I was going to say you could go... You could go there and read hints if you're ever in the area, but I think the only time will be water.
Single looks like we're going
Cac.
into Kakariko, so we're heading to up the mountain.
And probably with this idea, Decker knows they don't need strength. So you go up there, do all of that loop, and then you go through to Adult SFM from Goron City. You get that check, and then you use your Iron Boots to go into River. Would be the idea here, yeah.
I mean, you pull a bow strength for some reason in fire as well, then you can just beat Forest while you're there.
Yep. And Drew seeing their other bottle of blue fire. I don't know what Drew has left.
Shield right before Decker's about to see a shield on top of Dodongo's cavern. So that $80 just literally going in the drain.
Always feels bad, but there's not much else they need to buy the seed. There is bomb shoot. Oh wait, Market's dead. Never mind. No bomb shoot bowling, so no worries about that stuff. And no one's done Southfield, and Southfield, like seeds where Lake is dead, Field is hard to like route in.
Decker heading into Dodongo, so Decker will be getting the light arrows out of here. We know there's nothing else here, so.
Yep. We will see what Drew decides to do.
Sorry, there's a slingshot here, but.
I think Drew is more likely to. He's going to play Minuet right away, jump into Forest, and use the Pharoah's Wind to go to fire.
Yeah, go right back to fire.
Mm-hmm. That's my thought. Now, Drew might do the whole courtyard of Forest because with Song of Time, you could do that, and yeah, straight to Adult SFM.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense, and that magic from Adult Goron City coming out clutch.
Thunder pulling out the curse of some important item being in Valley. There definitely could be. With a strength most likely being in ice, I kind of see Drew. Heck, Drew could even go ice from here first, and then use Pharoah's to go back to fire from ice. Because with, like I said, with 2 bottles of blue fire, you can unfreeze the king and have a faster ice cavern clear with the bottle starting. So that might be a better route. We'll see what he decides to do. But Drew getting skulls along the way here too is always good. It's only a 10 skull requirement, but that's easy to forget about. It feels like, oh, that's nothing, but if you don't do it and there's an item there.
I mean, that could easily be your bow. Yeah, no, it's a early Forest dip. You get a nice amount of skulls just right in here as well.
Chat wishing pain on the runners. Open grotto item too.
Yeah, I was when Decker was heading out to GTG. I said there was a chance to just kind of that would be a good time to have just cleared out those couple checks down there, because they are kind of awkwardly now placed with the barren lake.
Yeah, the only time
obviously not running out done Valley, but. It would really got the South Pearl.
The only time these runners are going to go for those is probably when they head to Water Temple, which Decker will be getting long shot here, and Still, there's a potential where you can't beat Water Temple due to needing a bow, right? There are 3 checks that need a bow or a fire source, depending what it is. There's 2 checks that logically need the bow, which are the shooting the eye chest for the one that's strength locked in water, but that one requires a strength as well. And then also river chest needs a bow to shoot the ice witch.
Also, I believe that was a heart chest down in the water.
Yeah. We know what's on top of Crater. It was nothing.
The heart piece.
Yeah, I didn't remember what it was. I just know it wasn't important. But
Here's
you're right, that would be a
light
big
arrow.
difference. Hovers would have been really nice for Drew here as well. Because you can do the additional check of the what do you call the hand things? The
Floor Master.
Floor Master, yeah, the Floor Master check.
Decker leaving after the light arrows and not killing Dodongos. That is the correct call. As we know, Dodongo does not actually have anything, but it's interesting. So got the lights and left.
Yeah, Decker's risking there being something on the last 2 checks, but we know the reward from Dodongo is not required today.
Yeah, so that might be knowing that the Nocturne song check is dead already, so not feeling less need to get the water medallion for potential all dungeons. Might be leading to that decision.
It does save time, it just adds risk. Luckily for Decker, this time we know there's nothing there. But in other seeds, you can get into trouble there, so.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely a risk play.
And Drew's already at 9 skulls, so almost at the 10.
We'll get 10, just going through fire here.
And Drew decided to beat Fire Temple, or attempt to beat Fire Temple. We still do not know. Oh, Decker missing the Rolling Goron.
Nah, that Goron has the magic.
So, what we are hoping to not see is bow locked here in Fire. That would be the only item we're missing.
On Decker's side, because Drunus did not have the hammer.
That was Target in the Woods again.
Yeah. Wow.
The last 2 hints. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say another key just was hammer locked.
Yep, that's to be expected. And another key too. So we are not bow locked now, so that is good. So Drew's, sigh of relief there. But we had a question in chat. What are the reward requirements for actually beating this seed? If you want to give the rundown again, Derpy.
Yeah, it's you need the 3 child medallions that will unlock the bridge to get into Ganon's castle, and then to actually get Ganon's boss key, you need that is on the light arrow cutscene, which is locked by the spirit and shadow medallion. So for this seed, the runners need to beat Jabu, Forest, Fire, Water, and Spirit Temple.
Yep, and this seed is a little bit special. Normally in these SGL settings, you start with the light medallion pre-completed, so you normally have 1 free in Link's pocket plus the light medallion. In this case, the light medallion was the in Link's pocket, so we do not have a pre-completed dungeon. Ooh, and a big chest here in Fire, in the shortcut.
Yeah.
Are the trails possible to be on path? So the trials, sorry, not trails. Trials possible. So inside Ganon's castle is possible, but only for the shadow and spirit medallions. They cannot be paths for the stones because they are required to get into Ganon's castle. And we just hit our 1 hour mark, so I know we've seen a couple of shout-outs, but thank you to our trackers, Shinnok and Mira. Always helping out, and Mira also one of the tournament organizers. Thank you to Star, who is our race mod, and also another tournament organizer. And then thanks for commentating with me, Derpy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a good time.
Yeah, this has been a fun seed so far. Very early loaded, but really not unlocking too much.
Yeah, but there's the long shot for Decker.
And now the question comes, Decker could potentially beat water, right? There's only the 3 checks that you can't do without bow and strength.
Yep, potentially beat water. In their perspective, can potentially beat fire. We know they actually can beat fire as of right now.
Yes, they can beat fire. Yeah, we are not bow locked, so they can beat fire. And with Free Scarecrow's song, well, they have long shot, and both of these runners know how to do pixel shot, but we have Free Scarecrow, so fire is completely beatable. And it will be interesting to see if Decker decides to farm money to get the Goron Tunic. I would expect yes.
Yeah, with only 4 hearts? No.
Oh. Going to... Oh. Potentially... Oh, getting the heart piece, yeah.
Just put Decker at 5 hearts.
It does. You can do 5 heart fire. 4 hearts is very difficult. There's Decker getting...
Decker didn't have Minuet.
Yep.
Not super helpful at this point besides just getting to Forest.
Drew fell off the edge, but luckily we have Theoris to save you some time going back around. I've done that.
Oh yeah, I have fallen off that edge so many times without Feroris. It's just like... It's always the worst of running back around to get there.
So Pierre actually has either a boss key or a key. And Drew casting Pharaoh's Wind again in order to get down more quickly and safely. It saves you time versus trying to head down there or falling and really falling.
Yeah, like just messing up the angle slightly in a race. And this should also be 10 skulls, or did Drew already get 10? Yeah, no, that is 10, okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure Drew hasn't picked up another one. And so we might see the 10 skull check here sometime soon.
Incoherent has a point. We haven't seen Shortcut because that is a big chest, so he'd have to come back for that anyways. Oh, boss key. So, here's the big question. I know what I would do. So with this being a boss key here, and we didn't get a small chest on the top of small key on the top of Maze, right? Or maybe there is one and he fell when it happened. I guess we'll see what happens, but I don't think I would climb back up at all. Because if there is no small key and there's a small key on Volvagia, that means there is 2 more small keys out of the 3 remaining checks. So there's 1 item left in fire. Oh, yeah. Zora Tunic.
That's not the worst thing to find. Yeah, and as you just mentioned, yeah, Drew just leaving and probably just gonna go kill Volvagia right now.
Yep, and I wouldn't plan to go back up. It's one check at this point. Logically.
Also being asked, is fires logically hovers locked?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, I think so.
Yes, it is, because you have to beat Volvagia in order to get a small key to go up higher in order to hit the platform down. So we are hovers locked. So of course Drew can just do the jump. He missed it there, but it's not the worst jump in the world. Decker will be able to do it a little bit more quickly. Yes, Drew bought the tunic.
There was a 200 rupee in the chest in the wall right outside of Goron City. So Drew just had a full wallet and he walked into Goron City, so it just kind of was a free purchase.
So the interesting thing here is because this place is hovers locked, and because hovers is in GTG, which is the path to Jabu, that 1 item up there could technically be Rudo's letter.
Which Decker will be able to put together that information, so it'll be interesting to see if Decker makes the choice to go back up.
I don't think Decker will, only because he knows there's another big chest, and there is also irons and the, water temple being a potential one, or fire arrows for like spirit key logic nonsense.
No, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree with you. I just there's a chance.
There is. It would be very thorough, which people sometimes play a little bit more thorough. But seeing Decker skip the end of DC makes me think it's not likely Decker's going to waste the 2 or 3 minutes to climb again. I mean,
Especially with the ability to just go beat water, which you know is required.
Yep.
I think you're more tempted to just head over to water and beat water, or even
I'm
go up and skip King Zora and go into Ice Cavern, which you
Yeah.
also know you want to do.
I think both runners are going to be going to ice because it's a path and it's likely strength, and you get another song which could help you a lot. Now,
Drew
ice could actually be
especially is
Requiem.
going to ice because Drew doesn't have the Iron Boot, so water isn't an option for Drew.
Yep. Ice could be Requiem, by the way. Child Spirit being required.
And we get the last of the craters. The crater will be fully cleared out here with this fairy fountain.
Oh, and Decker showing off what you can do with hovers. Drew had to do the ground jump setup over there, but with hovers, you can set it up a little bit more easily and drop the bomb as you're going up. It's a little bit more elegant with hovers.
Yeah, Drew leaving. So yeah, Drew definitely should be heading to Ice Cavern here.
I'm actually going Prelude? I don't think so, because the fastest way to Ice Cavern. Oh wait, he doesn't have irons, so yes, no, actually you're right. I'm going, oh, they have irons on my mind, and the fastest way with irons or scale is actually through Lost Woods.
And to note, it was a key at the top of the maze.
It was a key at the top of the maze. Okay, so it's not hovers locked. Okay. Drew just fell. That's right.
Yeah.
And didn't get it.
Fell and didn't want to go back up. That was Ice Cavern Twin Rova again. We had seen that. That's where Decker read that earlier. So actually, is that Drunus' first time reading Ice Cavern?
Oh, it might be.
Because yeah,
he's already
had
going
that
GTG.
Yeah. Because I think we were just assuming Drew had that info. I think that might have been in that grotto, and Drew wasn't playing with that info.
Yeah, after the seed yesterday morning, Drew's not gonna forget Tektite.
Is that another wallet down there?
Yes, because it can't be a bomb bag.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I know it's not a bomb bag, so it had to have been a wallet.
Can't be a bomb bag. We've already found 2, and we have the 3rd hinted. Decker going to Pierre here. Or double magic. Look like magic. I wasn't looking at the time.
I was like, it was like a jar or a bag type, so I could see it being double magic.
So Drew here clearing out field. So making the southern field not just stranded.
Yeah,
probably a lesson from yesterday.
Making that play that I mentioned Decker might do when Decker was heading out to GTG of this is a time where you can just clear out that field.
It's probably the best time to do it, honestly. Decker had a lot more available at the time, having not been child and everything like that, but as we get further into the seed, oh, and I said happy hour when the actual race room was at an hour, not the stream. Whoops. I have that up, but so we'll just do it again in an hour for fun. But yeah, this is the best time for Drew, just considering.
Oh, no. I'm like, Decker did not get the. Did Decker get the key, and that was intentional fall? Right.
Yes, you can fall correctly there, and save a lot of time.
I'd never seen that version of the fall, so I thought that was not intentional. But no,
that's like normally what you would do is that fall, but Decker forgot that they had the.
Ooh, strength in the grotto outside of Lake Hylia.
And that is big. It could be strength 2 in ice, right? And that would give you spirit access as adult. It could also be Requiem. We have logical crossing right now, but well, Drew doesn't know that yet without the lens, but
That if it is then strength 2 in ice, that then wouldn't that make it impossible for it to be Rudos in GTG in that last big chest? Since you would need. Actually, no, because I guess
it
bow.
could still be Rudos, yeah.
Yeah, because you just need a bow. You could get the key to
Yep.
get there. So yeah, never mind. Okay, so yeah, no, Decker hadn't gotten the boss key. I was right.
It could also be. Oh, it's a hammerlock chest here. So Drew's actually getting something. We missed this. Oh, ice arrows.
Nice ice arrows.
I think Drew is going to, after GTG, cross the desert.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. Yeah, unfortunately, we will not see the Hatsune Miku Big Goron Sword, because Big Goron Sword is on Frogs 2. So, if you're hoping to see what the Hatsune Miku model looks like with Big Goron Sword, you won't get to see it this seed.
Yep. I'm actually really surprised that Drew decided to clear out field and go GTG after getting the ice hint, because he was right there to just go up river.
Yeah, I think probably just had already like set in mind that, hey, I'm going down this path first.
Yep.
And I mean, it's still a good path. Like, you need to do this. We know there's stuff here that Drew needs, so.
So Drew is setting up to do a hookshot extension here, and you can actually grab this chest and save a bunch of time, because having the long shot there where Decker did not have it.
Yeah, and also having the ability to drop furores here in GTG if needed.
It will save Drew a ton of time for sure. So that is a big difference between Drew's trip and Decker. Decker will have to come back out. I do expect Decker to go to ice and not do field, but that's going to hurt Decker in the end if that's what happens, due to the strength being there. Field biting us again with the strength.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if Decker has to be doing that when they go Water Temple, so it hopefully isn't in the worst spot still, since it's just right outside of Lake. Like, you're not skipping over that grotto before you go into water. Especially because we do not have Serenade and will not be getting Serenade, so you are riding the horse down to water no matter what.
Yep. So that's lucky for Decker in this case. Like, you do clear that stuff. You're never going down there again, like you said.
Yeah. It's just you could have had that a bit earlier, which would have been nicer, but
Yep.
It could have been in worse spots, for sure.
And Drew having a bit easier of a time here with having a shield.
Yeah, gotta love the shield.
Crouch stabs makes everything easy.
Fire arrows. All the elemental arrows have been found, but no bow to use them. Yeah, bow still the biggest item we need. Rudos and a second strength.
Yep, that's what we're down to.
3 items at the 1 hour mark. Happy official 1 hour mark.
Yay, happy official 1 hour mark. There's still potential that we need to beat Deku Tree. So Kokiri Sword could be needed. We could need to beat Shadow. Dins could be needed. You never know. This could be Hover's path to do something in Shadow, right? For Rudos. Silly stuff like Shadow for getting K Sword for Rudos in Rudos in Deku Tree.
And then bow 1 is in Jabu.
Yay, 1 hour ice.
It's too late. Should have rushed it quicker.
I know, we had 2 blue fires, like, it just screams go ice.
Dead hand hit again. We got GTG toilet at the 20-minute mark to start. Decker did that at the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, a little bit more precise, like 18-minute toilet. Yep, and it's a key.
Yeah, trying to get 2 5 small keys to get a big chest in the maze.
Yep.
Yeah, also nice ground tunic.
And it was a Goron tunic, yeah, on Freeze the King, so not today.
Nice.
Very clean skip. Yeah. It's not actually where I aim. I guess you have quite a big range that you can aim at there.
Damn, I'm still so bad at that skip.
I've actually been learning the glitchless jumps in ice. The second silver rupee room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, second ice cavern to Twin Rova. Okay.
Nice.
So we're still missing 2 paths. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get our first check of Valley here. We're gonna get Valley crate check here.
Nice. Good there.
There's the other wallet.
Yep.
Completely useless in this seed.
And then you get the get the recoil here. So actually both the Valley checks are getting checked.
Yeah, Decker got the shortcut in fire, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I just saw something said a Zora scale there on that hint on Drunus' side.
I guess we'll be able to tell when he inventories. Oh, that was probably a Valley hint in Valley.
Oh, yep, it was a Valley hint in Valley. Nice.
So unfortunately, that scale doesn't help our runners too much. I guess it lets you, as child, get to domain faster through Lost Woods, but that's about it.
Yeah, so we know Decker here in Ice Cavern is getting path to Volvage, or not Volvagio, Twin Rova. Is it just the song? That is the biggest question, and
I think Decker's hoping that it is Strength 2, because that would almost guarantee that you get another key in there to get that chest in GTG.
Which for Decker to know would still be Strength 1, because
that looked like a Paracollis, but we'll see. It might have just been bombs.
Well, Decker, it would be the bracelet still.
Oh, that's right. So no, it's nothing.
Yeah, Drew's the one that got the strength down in the grotto outside the lake.
This is looking to be one of those seeds where a bow is non-existent.
Yeah. I mean, definitely when you make the ice play, you're hoping for more than just the song.
Yep, he still has 2 more checks, so there could be something. The song, I mean, Child Spirit is a lot of checks. It's not a bad play at all if you get Requiem here.
No, it definitely would be following that path. That would be the next play, except for maybe going and beating water. Maybe do that first still, since you know you need to beat water anyways. So I guess there's a chance you get locked out because of no bow, but we do have a big chest here.
Ooh, do we get our Strength 2?
Strength 2, bow 1. We know it's not Rudo's letter.
Dins!
Yeah.
Oh, we can do Shadow. Oh, no, we can't. We don't have Nocturne yet. But we have crossing logic. Watch us have to cross for Nocturne to then go and get Strength 2 and Shadow. Yeah.
Oh no. Shadow finds a way.
Yeah, Dins and Hovers are path locations, so this all could. it could all be for like, what if it's Requiem on Prelude? So you have to beat Deku, and you have to get K Sword and Shadow. Like, there's some nasty logic that can come out of this. Now, there's still a chance Requiem's just sitting here in ice, and this is all for nothing, right? But if it's not Requiem here, oof, Shadow is definitely the play. Once you probably going out to cross is what I think Decker would try and do. Probably beat water and then go cross.
Because we do know Wasteland is dead, so.
Yep. And that is the glitchless jump I have not learned yet. The one Decker just did. I can actually do the hover jump instead.
I have not learned any of the glitchless jumps. I learned how to bomb jump in this room, and that's good enough for me. We're kind of waiting on bated breath here for if it's that Dins that is the path.
Yep. Well, we'll see it here in about a minute. It looks like Drew is heading to ice.
Yeah, getting the iron boots, that makes sense.
Very clean silver rupee room by Decker there. He went for the swag, the hover jump, the second one there. That one's actually really hard to do. Because you have to time it right so that you're basically landing on that pillar. So you basically get a reset of your hovers. And it's easy to jump over it.
Alright, here we go. That is not a big chest.
It's Dins or whatever the song is.
And
it is Requiem.
Okay.
So
I mean, doesn't rule out Shadow Temple.
Here's the other thing. So it's most likely Requiem, or it can't be Dins for Spirit Key logic because we have fire. Oh, unless depending where the bow is.
We don't. And if that could be the bow right there.
Right. That could be for Spirit Key logic because we don't have the bow yet. It could be locked behind Spirit some way. Likely Requiem. I agree with Decker here checking out Forest. Like if a bow's just sitting in here or strength or something, you want to find it. I would expect Decker to go beat Water Temple after this, or try to. Maybe they're waiting because they do not have a bow or strength, and you could get locked, but
yeah, that's where if having that strength that's right outside of Water Temple, I think if Decker had that, Decker would probably be heading to water for sure.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, Central Pillars and the lowest level of the three of the column there are both accessible with Dins. I had a Triforce Blitz seed where it logically wanted us to get bow by using Dins and Water Temple.
Yeah.
Yep, and it was behind one of those checks, so it's very possible.
Yeah, the other play for Decker would be Child Spirit at this point. If Decker's not gonna go. Ooh, also not doing the whole courtyard. Just killing the Stalfos and getting out.
So we have logical crossing, so this is a comment in the chat, but if there is a key on child side or a boss key, then having Requiem is required, not just logically. If it's a key, it could be just logically required, but it could also, you could have no keys on adult side. So logically, if there's a small key or boss key on child side, Requiem is required by the seed, but hard required and soft required are very different.
Also, I did not catch that hint that was in the desert there, but it was a path. So if anyone in chat caught that hint on Decker's side. Storms. DMT into Baronade. Into Morpha.
DMT into something. What do we find
I
in
thought
Death
I
Mountain
saw
Trail?
Morpha as the boss, so I'm gonna go with DMT to Morpha. We saw
Uh,
Long Shot.
And we had long shot, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so that makes that's just that hinted the long shot. Cause yeah, we've actually no, we haven't fully cleared the trail because there's still the storm's grotto there.
That is true. So there could be a bow. That's about all that's left to be required for water.
Yeah, alright. Decker is heading back to GTG. Gonna reverse wasteland this.
Yeah, the Death Mountain Trail is hookshot to Morpha.
Yeah. This is the best time for Decker to get back to GTG. You could drop Furores there, and then you could drop down and go do Water Temple from there.
Yep. Hopefully Decker decides to do Southern Field, though. Taking this route has the risk of skipping.
That's true. I said that the one way you were heading to Water Temple was on the horse, and then they found Requiem, so it became a second option. So
this play is actually interesting because with storms, bottom of the well is big. Like storms is not in logic technically because we haven't found Rudo's letter, right? So you couldn't get it. So maybe that's why Decker's holding off or wanting to not do the age change yet.
Still not sure what that item is, but neither of them picked it up, so it's clearly nothing.
Oh no, Storms is in logic. We have logical crossing. So what am I talking about? Yeah, so bottom of the well is a big play right now. Because we can logically cross. We have long shot and hovers and magic and lens. And yeah, and Epona. Like we have everything possibly needed. Ooh, that is such a cool trick by Drew. With hovers, you can do a backflip at just the right time when getting the last silver rupee there and land back on the platform. It's very hard to do, but Drew is very good at it.
Yeah, so you just drop in Furores and GTG, this makes sense, gives you easy access back here, still knowing that there's that big chest. Needing either a bow or, in Decker's case, 2 strengths to get access to it. And yeah, I'm gonna go clear Valley and head into Water Temple, but the big question is, does Decker go into the field?
Oh, now I realize why Decker is coming back here. He saw the hammerlock chest here, but didn't have hammer at the time. So coming back for that.
Which we know is just ice arrows.
Right. It makes sense why Decker chose that route now, though. And not checking Valley. So Decker is going to not do the cool hover trick like Drew did, but with long shot you can just come across and hook and long shot across. A little bit safer, because if you fail the other way, you miss both checks. Fortunately, we know there's only a wallet and a scale here, and that's the hint that Decker's about to get down here as well.
The fact that that's where that hint got placed is just very funny.
And we're gonna see some of the lake hints, most likely, if Decker goes down that way. Like Drew's showing off the keys jump.
Scale is nice to have, helps out with some movement as a child. It gives you access to some shortcuts, so.
Yeah, unfortunately the best one, the using lake to go to domain, is not going to happen this seed.
Nope, no sir.
Got a bit of a runaround seed.
Yeah, definitely heading to the lake, clearly here for Decker. Again, question is, does Decker walk out and do South Hyrule Field either before or after going into Water Temple? Clearly looking like after would be the option.
Let's hope Decker doesn't skip it. That could be a big issue.
assuming Drew's just gonna play that Requiem right away. Yep, there it is.
Yep, and probably going to see Storms and then go Prelude and go Child.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, because it wouldn't make sense for Drew to cross the reverse wasteland here, having already have like GTG set up with Furores and all that. Could Furores back to GTG and then just walk out of GTG and head water as well. Alright. First, dip into Water Temple, which, yeah, Decker has not done the Southern Field Grottos. So that is why Decker does not have Goron Bracelet at this time.
And Decker took the route of going from Requiem, so Desert Colossus over reversing, and that's why Decker didn't do the Southern Field.
And there's the Storms, gonna go check the Fairy Fountain.
And then probably straight to Child to do, I would assume, bottom of the well.
It makes the most sense for Drew. The Water Temple play, I think, is an option, but I think going Child just makes a bit more sense.
It's better for Drew to do the Water Temple play than it is for Decker. That strength actually locks out one check. Well, it's technically locked out by the bow more so. Because there are 2 checks that Decker cannot do 2 checks because of not having a bow. But Dins gets you into this one.
Yeah, both runners have done the Valley checks at this point.
Valley had a scale in the second wallet, and the second wallet's completely not needed. Actually, both wallets are not needed, as both tunics are available and in Logic.
Yeah, and as we said, Drew's heading straight Child. Alright, we're getting keys early. That is not necessarily what Decker wants to see. Unless one of them's the boss key. Because that just makes it more likely that bow or strength lock something in here.
The good thing here for Decker is, even though you can't get 2 of the checks in here, you can peek both of them.
Yeah.
So you can know if they're a big chest or not. So worst case, or if it's the boss key. So worst case, you have to come back, but if it's bow locked, everyone's having a trouble with the bow right now. I don't think we've seen 10 skulls turned in, but I think we're gonna get that right here.
Yeah, we should be getting that right here. Also, nice job, Druna, setting the time of day so that it also gets Dompe digging here, which is nothing. Checking the Sunsong Grave. Oh no, going to check torches.
Yep, we had a hint. Sunsong Grave is nothing.
If this is bow, this could be the path of Dins. Nope, it's just hard.
Like I said, Dins could just be,
Strength.
it could just be a bait, red herring, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So the only way we can get Nocturne at this point is either beating Jabu Forest and Fire, or it's getting the K-Sword and beating Deku. We don't know which it is yet. We don't have the hints. But yeah, Dins could be for Spirit Key Logic since we don't have a bow. But as soon as you get a bow, Dins cannot be. Ooh, and we get a big chest in water.
Yes, is this our bow?
Be big if it was. Rudos! So now we know the path is Iron Boots is path to Jabu. So that item placement is really rough. I think we're going to see a bunch of people struggle with that. Dipping water is good, but some people will delay until they get, a bow and everything. And if you notice, Drunis didn't go that way. Like, it's so hard to get down there because we don't have Serenade, and you don't really have the bow and everything you need. Oh!
There it is. It was on 10 skull.
I'll put away the spoiler log. So Drew is going to go ahead and do bottom of the well, and then probably go straight to forest, would be my guess.
Yeah, so Decker, to note, to get into go mode for Decker, needs to turn in 10 skulls, go right outside of Water Temple to get the... I couldn't tell what size chest that was that Decker just
It was
did.
small.
To get that 1 strength, and just has to find strength 2, which could be right here in well. Strength 2.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
So actually, Drew's going to do Child Spirit, just the first 2 checks. Or should do it. And the reason I say that is you could be locked out.
Yeah, so Drew just needs to go get Rudo's ladder from water.
So this is very good for Drew because Drew has nothing to make him not want to go to water now. So it is going to be after bottom of the well, it will be Child Spirit, and then Drew should go adult, beat forest, go into spirit and beat spirit, and then from there reverse and go to water, and that will give Drew his letter to then go back child and go to Jabu. So we are in no mode now. Very quickly found the last 3 items there. Decker does have skulls, so
yeah. So yeah, this is just get dungeons done quickly for both these runners. Once they get the item. I mean, Drew has a much clearer path to not missing go mode. Decker needs to go check that grotto. If Decker does not check that grotto leaving Water Temple here, that will muddy the path for Decker a lot.
yeah, the biggest thing is, will Decker get that strength? That's what's going to hold up Decker, but Drew is on a very clear path to go and get in go mode here. Very, very straightforward path.
There's actually Drew, unless Drew just does extra stuff instead of rushing dungeons, Drew is essentially just go mode at this point. From the knowledge we have. Drew doesn't know that, but we know that.
He's probably feeling pretty good, and you know, you're not going to stop back in GTG, or maybe Drew does, but I think you would be Water Temple first.
Shoutouts to the slingshot actually getting used.
It's actually easier to use slingshot there than it is to use the boomerang.
And Decker, to note, I don't believe got boss key, so boss key is bow locked. And did not go get the grotto.
And Child Spirit was logically required with there being a small key. I don't think Drew's gonna go straight adult here. Drew knows how to go mode this, so.
Decker, Sacred Forest Meadow is heading to go to Jabu. Got that scale, so he's just gonna dive through the shortcut in Lost Woods. And Decker needs to run into Strength 3, though, I think. I don't know when Decker's going to go back and get that grotto at this point.
It is a very rough spot, especially with Lake Dead. Normally you would get those combining it with a lake or combining it with Valley. But since both runners did Valley as adult, it's just in a very, very terrible spot to go to.
Yeah, and with the going reverse Wasteland instead of riding Epona to get down to Water Temple, those checks are, just in a bad spot, so.
Yeah, Shinnok is right. It is Requiem as the path to Twin Rova. It's logically required to get the small key as adult there, or as child, sorry. Not Decker. Drew actually going back to GTG, maybe thinking Rudo's is the check in the maze.
Yeah, makes sense. You know that's a big chest. You just need one more key to get in there.
Yeah, and clear your paths, right?
You might as well get it before you head into just delving into forest and all that. And look, there's key.
Yeah, the reason Drew chose this way is they knew there was a key on the PR check up here. Which they don't need now, but...
Yeah, so now you can just, you go push the block, get these 4 checks, and then just clear out the maze.
I don't blame Drew for what he's doing. He's trying to follow the Jabu path and clear it out here because only needing that item. We just know that it was actually the irons in here. Oh, and getting eaten.
Decker doing some diving minigames. Will there be any big chests here? More keys and small chests, so something good for Decker would actually be if this is another strength right here in this big... Oh my god, there's a big chest on torches.
Once here you again, go, Caster's Curse in it. It would make it a race, for sure.
Yeah, once again, it's just Decker really needs to run into the strength 3 somewhere.
Because Decker is very unlikely to go back to GTG.
Well, Decker did set Furores there, so...
They did, but considering where the bow and strength 2 are, yeah. K-Sword.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not what you want to see on Decker's side. Is this a double big chest back here? It is.
Oh, it is.
It was a big chest hiding behind a big chest.
Another bow. Watch this be strength 3. Oh, that would be so rough for Decker.
That'd be very rough.
The other bow.
nice double bows. All right. So yeah, once again, this very clear path for Drew. Decker. When do you go back there? And it looks like Drew's actually going Water Temple first. No, not gonna go clear out Forest Temple.
So, which is fine, and that will actually put him in go mode. He's right there, and the other 2 dungeons are you can warp straight to him. So this is your closest you'll be to water. Yeah. So that works out. Decker might end up doing Southern Field after Deku Tree. Would be my guess. I could see Decker going Deku Tree after Jabu here as child. Just another area to clear. I mean, Decker could also save quit and do bottom of the well with their spawn in
which, to note, that's where A strength is.
Yeah, so our bows there are not bow locked. The strength they're
either bow or strength 2 locked. They're one of the 2. But both bow and strength 2 gave the key needed to get at least one of those bows, if not both of them. Because there was 1 key locked behind strength 2, and I believe technically 3 keys locked behind bow. But if you get strength 2, you can definitely, because Decker was only 1 key away from getting to that bow already. So, but I mean, the easiest bow to get is just 10 skulls. Just go turn in 10 skulls. Alright, we also will get to see where the boss key is. Here in Water Temple, because Decker did not get the boss key while they were here.
I am back. Sorry about that. My cat turned my PC off.
No worries.
So logically, you need 6 keys to get that chest. I thought we had enough. I thought we had enough to have 6. It could be. It could be bow locked
We
and strength
know
2.
between bow and strength 2, like with neither of them, you could get up to 4 keys. So, and then strength 2 locked 1 key, and then bow locked the rest.
Yeah, the second bow was bow locked.
But the first one was not. But once again, easiest bow is still just turn in 10 skulls.
Exactly, and I think we'll see Decker do that to turn in 10 and do bottom of the well. Yeah, the second bow is definitely hard bow locked. This is not the first time I've had my cat turn off my PC. I forced the cat to not sit on my computer, but sometimes you can't stop him from just jumping up there. Hasn't happened in a race yet.
Cat's like. Yeah, that could be the potential 5th path. Hint that is probably never going to be found.
Definitely not on Drew's side at all. Decker might look for some more, but really there's no good hint locations, especially since Decker didn't really check the.
Well, I guess if you go day tree, you can read those too.
Yeah. Storms gives you a couple, but yeah, we've got just Drew doing what we've already seen by Decker and about to get his Rudos here, which will put Drew in go mode, so we should see skipping a lot of checks as soon as we see that done.
Yeah. The one we'll see the bow locked stuff here for Drew that we didn't get to see on Decker's side.
Yeah, it's just a little bit cleaner to route it this way too. So he's gonna shoot the eye and then peek this chest and then go to where Ruda's letter is. But if I remember right, boss key was Dark Link chest.
Was it? I thought.
Or was it? Oh no! It was.
I thought Decker didn't get boss key.
Oh, right.
Because he didn't beat. He didn't kill Morphin.
That is correct. So boss key is then.
It's bow locked somewhere.
Yeah, which we know it wasn't that chest, so it has to be.
Dragon statue.
Dragon is not bow locked though, unless Decker didn't want to lower the water again. So it must be river. Central pillar, Decker checked, and central pillar's not bow locked. You can get to central pillar with just dins, which
so
Decker had.
Yeah, it's gotta be river.
It's gotta be river then. But I don't remember Decker checking dragon, so. Oh no, Decker did.
I'm like I don't remember, but most likely it is just river.
Yep, and we got Decker doing box skip. First try. Your break even is if you have to do 3 attempts on that. Otherwise, you save time doing box skip. If it's pretty much dead even with bringing box over if you do it on your 3rd try. Anything after that is a loss of time. So if you can do that 50% of the time, it's actually a time save. We can see Drew doing the same peek that Decker did, and it's a small chest. I can't tell if it's a key or not, but. Thunder, bow on 10 skulls. Also a bow, 2 bows in GTG. The 4 key locked and 5 key locked chests in GTG. Technically 6 and 7 key locked, logically, but. And then strength 2 is in bottom of the well. And Rudo's letter is on, I think that's map chest, something like that, in water.
Yeah,
And
so
there's
Drew's in go mode is what you've missed.
yes.
Decker has skipped the strength that is in the grotto outside of Lake Hylia, the scrub grotto in particular. And yeah, that's the question we're waiting to answer is just when does Decker go get that strength?
And
Or
go
does
get the
Decker
bow, and go get strength 2 in the well.
Yeah, but those seem more likely to happen here very shortly, especially with the save quit location being in Kakariko.
Yep. I could see Decker safe quitting here and going straight bottom of the well. No.
Going
Child Spirit.
for-
That's a good play too. You need to check it. It could be hiding something. So
We do know it is logically required.
yep, we haven't seen if it's actually physically required yet because adult site could have no key. But while Drew is in go mode, it's a fairly long go mode here with water, forest, spirit, and Jabu to do. So we still got quite a bit of zooting going on. But yeah, we
The
have not
only
found
one you
strength 3.
really can speed up there is Spirit. Three small
Yeah.
keys and a boss key.
Jabu very slightly but we knew Stingers was dead. You skip the bubble room, you're really not saving much time.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Ted Forest very slightly as well.
But
Especially
really,
with having already done some of it and knowing where some things are. So yeah,
all you're
not
gonna
a ton.
you're really only gonna save the time it takes to go to any big chest in forest. Otherwise, you're gonna check everything. Yeah, so not much go moding here.
Nope, just clearing dungeon loading.
Drew, luckily, not going to get baited with the Kikiri sword. And there's Urboski. Yep.
So now we will see the Morpho fight, and then Drew will just be off to go beat either Spirit or Forest. Can warp to either of them very quickly, so just preference at this point.
Yep. One thing Drew will save time on over Decker and anyone else who goes Jabu first is since Drew is in go mode, skipping all of domain is big.
Yeah.
That's a good minute.
That is where the bait Kokiri sword is. So.
Yep.
And yeah, Decker's going deeper Child Spirit, which makes sense. Not having the strengths at this point. So we'll kind of get a little preview of what's in Spirit Temple here.
Yep, and Drew had a very good, the very classic quick kill on Morpha now, with the grab being found a while ago, the early grab that you can do, and then just killing it at the main door. I still miss that grab like half the time. More practice I need to do. There still is a chance that Strength 3 is here in Spirit. Decker will be able to check 2 more fire-locked key checks in Spirit that will actually be Strength 2 locked, depending on key logic. There is a chance, but right now Decker avoiding Southern Field and bottom of the well here, which is fortunately the 2 places he needs to go to beat the seed.
Yeah, once again, I see the bottom of the well happening somewhat soon due to just the save quit for Child being in Kakariko.
I agree. I think it might happen right away after this.
And we are getting adults. We double Spirit right now. One's an adult, one's a child.
So with seeing only 1 key in Child Climb, we're guaranteed to have a key on adult side here, because you need 3 keys in order to do what's it called, the adult climb, because you could waste 2 on child side, and then you could use the other one here. Yeah, and especially with no key on that fire check. So yeah, there could be a key right there. So without that key, now we're guaranteed one on adult side. So there should be one here. Oh, Drew trying to show off the cool hover trick. I forget who found it, but I see him and Zephyr do it all the time. I need to get them to teach me. But it saves you a lot of time there versus the normal route people do. And it looks cool. Not a lot of time, but a little bit.
And there's that key. So, child side actually not required.
Correct. It was logically required because 5 keys is always logically required, but it was not physically or hard required in the seed. So it could have saved time by not doing it, but as Drew was a child when he entered just missing Rudo's letter mode, I don't blame him for doing the first 2 checks of child, because Bosky could have been there, right? He could have been hard locked out of it.
Yeah,
or
so
if you have 2 keys.
For Drew, yeah. Drew only needs 1 more small key on the boss key, and then can just finish off this.
Or if you have 2 keys child side, that a lot of times it doesn't guarantee you're locked out, but most of the time it does. So it made sense. You want to, it's a qualifier. You still want to play relatively safe and do stuff like that. But here we go, Decker turning in 10 skulls. Hopefully, I lost track of the count. It looks like the trackers say 10, so I believe them. And then doing bottom of the well.
And there's boss key. So 1 more small key for Drew to finish off Spirit Temple here.
Yeah, Child Spirit, if there's nothing there, you can peek the 2 checks fairly quickly, so. So Drew is now looking for 1 small key at this point.
Yeah, and he's just gonna start the adult climb, because... Oh, never mind, there's one right there.
Yep, so Drew gets to skip everything else.
So this will actually be a very quick Spirit Temple for Drew. Yeah, and here we go. Decker is turning in 10 skulls, gonna find the bow. And you're finding this at the hour 43 mark, you're turning in 10 skulls. This isn't gonna feel good for Decker.
Yeah, that's why I said, well, what hurt the runners is no Nocturne, right? You could have turned that in much earlier with Nocturne. But also finding your first strength at probably, given where it's at, probably an hour 44 here.
Right after finding the bow? Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Decker's going to go, I could have come here, 40 minutes ago type of thing. Drew showing off the quick pushes. They're actually pretty easy to do. And they save you quite a bit of time. The ones up top don't save you as much time, but the ones in adult climb, where you're unlocking the door, save you quite a bit. And yep, hour 44, Decker gets bow and strength. Obviously, he's still gonna finish it out here.
Yeah, because Decker either needs to go to the grotto outside of Lake Hylia, or luck into strength 3 somewhere that we don't know where it is.
Given that none of the strengths were pathed, it could be available.
Yeah, it very. I mean, I'm assuming Decker's gonna go dig tree after this. It could just be in there.
It could be, or in forest. I probably expect Decker to go back water. Well, forest and water are a big place for Decker now, right?
Yeah. Just having that Kokiri sword and you're already child.
Drew with the cheeky sword bump on one. Oh, getting unlucky.
When Rova just sometimes chooses not be on the
Yep, the runners are still, Drew's still quite a ways out, having to do both Chorus and Jabu, so between the two, that's 30 minutes, right? And then a climb, so we're still a little bit under 40 minutes out from the seed completion from Drew's side.
Very long
and,
go.
Yep, and Decker does have Jabu complete, but not having that strength 2, and it's in a really bad spot. Having to double dip water, definitely time losses here for Decker. Could save some time though by not going back to GTG. Well, if strength 3 isn't there,
that GTG is just rough because you know there's a big chest. So and Decker already set up for roars, so we see Decker go to GTG.
I think so too, and it's going to be disappointing for Decker there. It's really hard. Like, if I was playing in Decker's spot with the information he has, yeah, I would go Forest here, right? It could just be strength 2 deeper in Forest, right? Or something like that. You got to do progression, hope you find your strength 2 along the way. But, like, how do you go back to Southern Field? Like, it feels really bad. Maybe Decker's thinking, I'll ride Epona to go back to Water Temple?
See, so this is what I'm thinking for Decker's path. And I'm like, getting clear out Forest, then for roars is set in GTG. So could just play Minuet again, get back into Forest, for roars to GTG, get the big chests that are there, and then drop down to water again from the desert side.
You could. Beating Forest does put you outside of the Deku tree.
That's why I said play Minuet again to get back into Forest.
Well, the idea there is you could do Southern Field by leaving Kakiri Forest. Is a potential path as well after beating Forest. Oh, and of course,
double Forest.
You cannot have a Zooter stream. Yep, you cannot have a Zooter stream without double Forest. And we're in no mode, or Drew being in go mode, double Forest, even better. So there's absolutely nothing in here except potentially a strength 3 for Decker. So we shall see.
So what's funny is Drew coming in after Decker was in here will be ahead on Forest because Drew's already done the courtyard. Yep, the star is perfect BK mode time. Pick me up some chicken fries while you're there.
Yeah, Decker's Pharaoh's Wind is in GTG. Did he set it back there when he went to get the hammer rocks? Did he go back in? Is that when he set it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when he set it.
So on the second trip that way, set Pharaoh's, because Decker didn't have magic on the first trip to GTG. Yeah, right now, we're just watching Drew beat this dungeon. Well, both runners beat this dungeon, but it's essentially inconsequential where the items are. You kind of have to walk past them all anyways, so nothing exciting to find here unless we do get a big chest. What I have enjoyed about this game mode set is, even if you look at yesterday's, like by game mode set, I mean the settings here, even if you look at yesterday's AD and a poorly placed gold gauntlets set from yesterday's qual, you still, like, the top runner was like 2:14 or something like that. Like the average time of the top 10 was like 2:30 something, right? You can get AD in this setting set and it still be a reasonable time frame. You don't get a 3.5 hour seed out of SGL stuff, which has been very enjoyable. They're always more on the shorter end, so it's less of a time investment as a runner, and it's been very enjoyable. I've also liked the four foolish being at the very start of the game, so you kind of just remove these areas, and you don't get that bad. You don't get the bad feeling of, oh, I cleared that foolish area and then found the hint. So it's been very enjoyable to play and to watch.
Yeah. This has been an interesting seed as well, and it's just, especially here for the restream, the question of, for us, just when does Decker find that strength to? Which makes it, at least from restream perspective, we don't just have both just double long go mode where we're just like, right, hey, let's watch these runners be very good at the video game and beat these dungeons very fast. We got some mystery to the scene still.
Well, we did until about 30 minutes ago, and now we're kind of just hoping Decker finds strength 2 in here to make it a race.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We at least have that intrigue of Decker hunting strength 2 left, and it's not just, hey, we're watching these two runners at a very good rate and doing it extremely well beat 4 dungeons, but if that's all we had on both sides, it'd be...
Yeah, double Forest, double Jabu, double Spirit. Yeah.
That would be an interesting end to the seed.
We're missing my favorite execution dungeon in Shadow Temple. Like, the movement through Shadow when you do it right just feels so good.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? This is the time where we get chat interaction, and just when we get you guys. Where do you think Strength 3 is, chat? Where is the mythical third strength that Decker could potentially run into? Take your guesses. Where is it? Do you think it's somewhere on the path that Decker's gonna run into, or some garbage location?
People are thinking Decker Tree. I have a feeling that Decker might go into Shadow because of that Din's bait.
Yeah, that I was gonna suggest Shadow as where it could be and where we could see Decker go.
Because that Din's is on the path to Spirit. Now Decker has seen that there is a key child side, which is, you go, okay, Requiem is required, right? Logically, the seed requires Requiem. So Decker could just go, nah, it's Requiem, and ignore that, which would be good for Decker.
Decker also did get the strength out of Well, knowing that you got Song of Storms off of Requiem as well.
So we had Logical Crossing, so we could get Storms without Requiem. Yep.
And we do technically need Nocturne, so.
Oh, that's right.
Decker would probably have to do Deku Tree before doing Shadow Temple.
Or you could look at the AD. What's on Ocarina of Time?
Oh yeah,
because it's available. Yeah.
Forest will be done.
Oh yeah. Inside Ganon's Castle becomes available as well. That's a good point. You'd probably do that before you did Deku, or before checking what's on AD. Decker opting to pull out the fire arrows. I don't actually know which way is faster. It might be pretty close, especially since Drew was able to get the quick shot there.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure which method is faster.
Oh, and yeah, it is a big chest here, so this could be something. Drew obviously didn't open it being in go mode, but this could be strength 2.
If this is strength 2 for Decker, that's extremely nice. Then yeah, now we got a race on our hands. That was strength 2. It's just bomb juice.
Yeah, the bait bomb juice, really good early, but by this point in the seed, it's See, this is the only downside of using fire arrows, is having to menu twice. So unlike any of the emulators, menuing takes a lot longer than Virtual Console, which I believe both of these runners are on VC. So menuing is the fastest it can be, but it's another menu, so it eats up time. Is Drew doing the look at the shadow and shoot it? Yep. So for the purple Poe here, I forget its name. Someone in chat will probably tell me. You can actually, the shadow that appears first is the real one. So you can actually pull that out and shoot it immediately, which is what Drew is doing. It is not easy. I'll put it that way. It takes practice. I'm still learning. It only saves you a very little bit of time too, but
yeah, it's one of those things where it looks cool, but yeah, it does not save the most time. Let's see if Decker does it. God, yeah. Unless, I mean, God, I love the fast pushing in this room. Just makes it so nice.
A lot of those speed ups, like shooting the sun speed up and everything. Oh yeah, it's Meg. I forgot Meg.
Yeah, the name of the purple one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's red, blue, green, and Meg.
Red, blue, green, and Meg. Yes.
Alright, and I mean Phantom Ganon could have the last strength, right? If you're rooting for Decker to finish the seed close to Drew, it kind of wants Phantom Ganon to drop strength there.
Yep, that's what you're rooting for, because Drew just has Jabu left after beating Phantom Ganon here. Now, will Drew do the swag of the one cycle here? It depends where it spawns. You can't actually do it if it spawns. Yep, he's going to do the one cycle. Oh, he tried to. Didn't get it. Only loses you, really doesn't lose you much time, just a tiny bit for having to get another ball there. But Drew essentially didn't get the oh, and having to 3-cycle it. Ouch. Drew didn't get the jump slash hit, so you can actually hit Phantom Ganon when he's outside of the ring there, and that will knock him down with that jump slash. Nope. No luck today on Phantom Ganon for Decker here. So really the question comes, what will Decker do? Alright.
So yeah, it's Decker. I really don't know. I still see the GTG into Water Temple. Like I very much, I think that's what Decker is about to do. Decker knows there's a big chest there. That's gonna be tempting to go see if that's just the strength too.
I could see that. The other big play is Southern Field to Water, knowing that those are there and kind of out of the way. Because you don't really get more checks, and you can jump back into Water to use your Feor's Wind. Does Decker want to clear Southern Field here or not? That's the big question, and Drew starts his trek over to Jabu.
Yep, which is the last dungeon that Drew needs to beat. Yep, Decker played Minuet. Gonna jump back in here and just take that Feroz back to GTG. So it will be coming out of water. Coming out of water will be the best chance for Decker to get strength to.
Yep. Probably seeing these big chests thinking, oh, maybe, you know, oh wow, there's 2 keys bow locked here, yeah. So there's 3 keys are bow locked. In spirit. So that 4 chest might be hard bow locked. I'd really have to go back and look at where the keys are.
No, I'm pretty. Decker was 1 key short. Decker was, I'm pretty sure 1 key. Yeah, 1 key short because he just got 2. He has 1 left here. So it was bow or strength 2 locked. Either would have gotten you the first bow. Bow gets you both of them.
Okay, so strength 2 gives you 1 key. Yeah. And Decker seeing both of those bows is probably feeling bad there.
Oh, absolutely.
And getting those 2 bottles of blue fire early, very nice. You can get a fish and not have to go back down. Yep, Decker going to beat water, which makes sense.
And yep, this. Man, I just want to see Decker go check the grotto. Like I'm just like trying to will it, like just hit go check the grotto. Please go check the grotto.
I hope he does. We've been talking about all seed. It's a very bad spot for the strength to be. It's hard to route it in, especially once you get Requiem. With Lake being a foolish location, it's out of the way. It's one of those things that I think Decker will check it here afterwards. I mean, I don't see it's really Deku Tree or cleanup of locations, right? We'll just have to see.
Yep. Also, shout outs to Drew dropping the fish like an inch too short to get Jabu to eat it. Again, you're gonna see the go mode Jabu, which is just slightly quicker than regular Jabu. But yeah, hopefully everyone in chat has been enjoying the seed. I also kind of partially want to find out where the strength 3 is. That's the other thing I kind of want to see in this seed.
It'd be interesting if we get to find it. I'm hoping for Decker's sake that we don't.
Yeah, no, for Decker's sake, I hope we don't. But yeah, what Shanak just said in chat, I could see the inside Ganon's castle into Deku, plus you get the Ocarina of Time song by going back child to do Deku as well. Could make that more tempting. Could do Southern Field after Deku. So like that could be a bit of a trek before we see Decker go to that grotto.
Luckily, Deku Tree is only like 5 minutes wasted, but at this point, it's too late for Decker. Given where Drew's at, yeah. Between these 2 runners, Drew is quite a bit ahead, even if Decker goes straight to Strength 2 here. Just the time it will take to beat Spirit Temple will be too much at this point.
No, this is Drew's as far as the race of these 2 runners go. But this is a qualifier, so Decker still just wants to get a good time in place.
Yep, and you can still get a good score even being, heck, 15, 20 minutes behind. It just depends. And so for all of you joining, this is the online SGL tournament, qualifiers for it, and top 32 go to brackets. So less than the top 64 in the main tourney here, so it's a bit tighter. But also, we hit the 2-hour mark 5 minutes ago, so we should do the shout-outs. So I'll let you lead that off.
Yeah, so on tracking, shout outs to our awesome trackers, Maraba and Shanik. And also joining me on commentary, Majorskin.
Yeah, and then of course shout out to Star, who was I think doing the race modding, or at least set up the room and everything, and helping the whole tourney. So appreciated everyone, and of course shout outs to our two runners, Drunus and Decker, who gave us this awesome race. Just a reminder, all these runners are on 15-minute delays as part of the tourney, so try not to give any spoilers if people have finished or not, until it's actually caught up to the real time. So just a heads up.
I'm like, I actually don't even have the race room open for that exact reason.
Given where the items are, you know, Drunus did some extra stuff GTG, and you know, certain routing decision stuff. What if you turned in 10 skulls earlier and you only made one trip there? I could see people being done, but I could also see people not being done, being a little bit more cautious. Like if you god routed, I can see someone being done. But
I'm like, Drew was on a pretty straightforward route. Drew did not do a ton extra, so and hasn't had any like big mistakes. So like I think Drew's in contention for just the very top end of this race. But
oh yeah, definitely.
It like there's very slight things I could see people do that would maybe get them ahead of Drew, but like Drew very much routed this extremely well.
Yeah, strength 2 was a little bit rough in the seed. Bow was rough, so there are things that will hold people up.
Yeah, and here we go. We have Decker going into inside Ganon's castle, which is what we thought. And then yeah, the probably Decker 3 will be after this, unless Strength 3 is just chilling in here, which it could be. And to note, this will give Decker the chance to set furores in here for later. So it's not a. It will help a bit timing wise for this. Let's see if Drew gets boxless. First try as well.
First try. Yeah, both of these runners have had good execution. You've noticed on the on Drew's side doing a couple more extra tricks that Decker hasn't, but still two very good runners, both top 64 for a while. You know, they went very far with their multi-world team.
Small key or small chest there. We're wanting to see a big chest here for Decker's sake, so Decker doesn't continue to go down a path of unnecessary. Baronade is probably my favorite fight to watch. Just done. Like it's just when this fight's done well, it's just so cool. Yeah, well, we're assuming most likely Nocturne's on OOT, and if you're going to Deku, you're picking up the OOT song. Yeah, it's either I mean, Decker would get Nocturne by going to Deku no matter what, because you'd get the OOT song and you'd get the Prelude song. So, yeah, no matter what, if Decker decides to go Deku, then Shadow would be on the table afterwards. Alright, but yeah, Drew has all stones and medallions. Drew is off to beat the game.
Yep, off to Ganon's castle here, and really from leaving the Temple of Time here, it's like 5.5 to 6 minutes or so, depending on execution. So that's what we should be seeing Drew's time.
To note, there is one path hint we didn't read though. So.
Yeah, we were missing a path, and we're missing. I showed two dual hints. It might only be one dual hint. I lost my tracker with information that I had.
Ooh, big chest. Could it be? Oh no!
We know that's dead.
Yeah, it could very easily just be Cac as passive Phantom Ganon.
So
without bow on 10 skulls.
it's actually, yeah, it would be for the bow, and that's the only thing it could be, because it can't be for a strength or a hook shot, or for, I guess it could be Saria's, right, as well.
Yep, and Decker is going
no,
child.
it can't be Saria's. So yeah, it's only for that bow. Yep,
man.
unfortunate for Decker, but this does lead him to, once you beat Decatree, you can go straight to Southern Field.
Hookshot was on the fairy fountain at the top of the trail, and that was a hidden path, also, by the way. Graveyard was not. Was Graveyard for a sec? Actually, we got the first hookshot super early.
It was Shield Grave and Graveyard.
Yeah.
But because 2 hookshots were available and they did not lock each other, you cannot have a path hookshot to Forest. And because you have 2 strengths and neither of them lock each other, you cannot have strength path to Forest either. So it can only be the bow, because bow logically locked the other bows in GTG. So it could only be a bow path. So it would be a Kakariko path to Phantom Ganon. And it can't be the songs for Forest Access either, because Staria's song was vanilla, and then Minuet was on Bolero, and neither locked each other. So.
And our OOT song is missed the ocarina.
Yeah, that's correct. Wanderer stuff cannot be hinted, just like Triforce Splits. If there's multiple copies that do not lock each other, or do not, don't have a chain to one another.
Nocturne.
Oh,
we're getting the Shadow Temple play. That
yep.
pushes them even farther away from the strength.
Unfortunately, but probably going. Oh, it's that hint, right?
It's the Dins.
Yeah.
Dins and hovers are both in a path.
And Drew is like 3 minutes out. Depends how the fights go, right? Somewhere right there. I don't actually know how long it actually takes perfectly once you start Ganon's, but
I think it's about 3 minutes.
Yeah, 3.5, something like that. So Bo was on 10 skulls that locked the other 2 bows in GTG. So 10 skulls, bites again.
Yeah, the 2 in GTG maze were back to back.
See how this fight goes for Drew. Does he one cycle it, or?
Good. Oh, I think it's 1 hit short. All right. If you bet Shadow Temple where the last strength is, that's what I know. I put my money there. We'll get to see it. Oh man, Ganondorf is not being nice with these punches to the ground.
Yeah, that was a little bit of rough of a Ganondorf fight for Drew.
Yep, it was 1 hit short too. If you're Drew, and depending on if you have the race room open or not, right there with the Ganon just punching, that could feel bad. Just thinking someone's gonna cut you. And just get right ahead because Ganon decided to do a couple extra punches. Yeah, Dead Hand making an appearance after we knew both items were dead in the well. Very clean fight there. That was beautiful.
Yep. I mean, I would be sweating Tuber right now. Like anytime you're finishing here, and depending on other people finishing, you're always thinking, uh-oh. But you got to sit down and focus and just do what you need to do.
That cutscene feels like the longest thing when you're in a race and you're like, oh, come on,
oh, when you're charging with your Master Sword, yeah. The worst cutscene for me is the water rising in the lake. And that's your last dungeon.
Yeah, I'm like when that's your last dungeon and you're just like, oh, come on, let me go, let me go.
And here goes Drew on the final phase of Ganon. Okay. 4 more hits to go.
3 more. Very clean second phase there. Shadow throwing all the keys at Decker.
All right. Get your GGs in chat for Drew.
GGs for Drew. And
GGs, Drew.
And that's a first place in the quali for Drew as well. Congratulations.
Who sniped Angle by 15 seconds as well, so that's gotta feel good.
Dude, oh my god. Ganondorf doing like the pounds over and over again almost sent me to second place. That's so stupid.
Yeah, that was rough. So this felt a little bit like yesterday's qual, where the strength was in a kind of rough spot, where you get everything else pretty much for free. I feel like besides bow. What was your take on the seed?
I liked it. I mean, I don't really know what to say about it. It wasn't like a particularly interesting seed, I guess.
Yeah, logically, it was straightforward.
Yeah, I just kind of did the things I normally do. I don't know. I've always been a skull guy, so like 10 skulls has never really bothered me that much. When I checked the scrub, I was like really desperate for a bow. So like I was just doing any check that was on my way to GTG basically.
That scrub is definitely the like one big like hang up in this seed with Lake being hinted barren. It's just in one of those awkward spots where you could leave it for a while and kind of let it hang out there in the wind.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, honestly, especially like hearing or like seeing that people like didn't check 10 skulls or that scrub. Like for me, it's like if I don't know, because I didn't have bow, I was just opting to do like a lot of checks looking for bow. But like for other people that didn't have bow, it's surprising that they would like skip things on the way to GTG.
Yeah, see, so for Decker went GTG almost immediately on first adult, right?
Mm-hmm.
At an 18-minute toilet, so
I had definitely considered it.
Yeah, so I called out when Decker was doing that. I was like, oh, do you just do Southern Field here as well? But Decker didn't, and Decker turned straight to GTG, and that's kind of just what has led to kind of being left out there for him the whole time.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Honestly, like another reason I did it was because at that point I felt like I was really low on path hints, and I just kind of wanted to like get a bunch of hints at once. Like I was like, this play is like clearing field is really good for multiple reasons, and like I just really wanted to do it on the way to GTG.
How did you like the double bows in GTG?
The double bows, I was like really happy to see the 2 bows there. I was like, yeah, that's really nice. I like at that point I was kind of wishing it was letters. So like when I saw them, I was like, yeah, of course. But later on thinking about it, I was like, those 2 bows are actually really nice for me. As somebody who did 10 skulls.
yeah, they're logically bow locked, but you can get them with strength 2. But it forced pretty much everyone to go back and go back a second time to GTG. Can't do it in one trip.
Mm-hmm.
As a runner, like, I like the Foolish, but, you know, without Serenade and Lake Foolish here, the Southern Field is just hard to do. Like, you did it at probably the only good time, I think, to really route this in. So once you get Requiem in Ice, and I was going to ask you about continuing to clear field versus going to Ice there, when you got the hint in the Market Grotto, right? Or outside Market Grotto.
I had kind of figured that, like, I just didn't want to go and have it only be Requiem, and then it, like, blocked me off from the field stuff that I was already doing. Like, I was like, I would rather just continue on my way, go to GTG. I have my Furors freed up, so, like, if anything, I can just leave Furors there. It's not a big deal if I can't full clear the area.
Yeah, and that made sense for you having magic. Decker went there without magic first, and it felt a little bit worse. No strength, no bow, no magic for Feoras.
Ooh, big chest.
Oh, not. Right now, Decker is in Shadow, and also found the K-Sword in Domain, which you gotta skip. So lots of bait for Decker here.
Yeah, I had heard from somebody about the K-Sword because they were asking me if I had done Deku, but unfortunately I didn't even get the opportunity to take that bait.
Unfortunately, Decker's probably going to beat Deku and then do Southern Field. We've been hoping that, like, Decker made 2 trips to water, right? We're hoping that Decker would decide to, you know, instead of doing Requiem,
coming from GTG, which also, and entering from the river, just making it so couldn't, or the grotto's still just not right in front of him.
It would have been a very close race if Decker decided to go field after beating water. You still would have been ahead by a couple of minutes, but it would have been close.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. I'm like trying to think, because like Decker and I have talked a lot. Obviously, like I talk to the guy like every day, but he was the one like who told me about like his thoughts about like the settings and stuff, and he said that he really likes doing river early because of the early information and stuff. So it's kind of surprising that like he wouldn't do those grottos, like trying to get that extra information, because like it's 3 hints, like it's just as much as river, right?
And I like your idea of also making it so they're not stranded, because they pretty much are. Once you have the burning cack hint and you know you have the lake hint right away, it's stranded. Your route of actually going upriver first really paid out the seed, I feel.
The bomb bag was really nice, yeah. And then like I just felt not really like obligated to do DC, but like I felt like I just really wanted to go in that direction. I mean, like starting with Oponos, getting hookshot, getting bombs, getting Song of Time, I was like, if I can just do like a bunch of checks right now and get bow, like everything in terms of my early routing just comes back to the bow. I just wanted a bow. Like I was like, if I can get a bow, go to GTG, get letter before going, like before ever going child, especially with the rang, then like I can maybe do like a 1-trip child, and that would be huge. Unfortunately that
GTG.
Yeah, that didn't end up being the case, but like I just wanted to do checks. Like I was like, I just let me do checks, find a bow, go to GTG, just get everything done in like 1 trip and save a ton of time. But yeah, I mean, didn't work out that way, but it did work out.
Big chest at the end of Shadow. Manager, does he have strength 3?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know like if Decker's looking at the race room or not. From like a metagame perspective, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to be in Shadow, because like there's probably no way that I ever did it. But like from the perspective that like there's another strength out there, Shadow's probably like the best place to be right now.
Right, that and Deku aren't bad, but especially since you have to beat Jabu, you know, it's very likely that, you know, people got the K sword and went, right?
Yeah.
Baker's kind of following the path, but your idea of metagame, like that's what killed me yesterday in that seed, is I didn't even think about that. I'm just like, clear biggest areas, and I went and did bottom of the well in GTG, which, looking at, the times, didn't really make sense for me to do, right, from a big race room like this.
Yeah, yesterday I had found the Tektite strength first. So like when Gab finished, like, okay, I had found the Tektite strength first, and also when I was on my way to Forest, I didn't have time to do ranch in that seed. So I never had ZL going into the woods. So when Gab finished, I was like, okay, Gab's like a good player who makes reasonable plays. If he found this strength somewhere along the way, then it's either like in water in like the map shaft, because I did compass first, or it's just gonna be like Child Goron City. So I did the water stuff, and then I went straight to Child Goron City.
Nice.
Like, yeah.
So that was my first strength.
Okay, yeah, I figured that was like most people's first strength. Like, it just didn't work out for me, but because it didn't work out for me, like, it was really nice. Like, it worked out really nicely in the end.
Yeah. For me, the main issue was I struggle with jet seeds in terms of I do too much and can't transition off of them. So for that seed, the way I routed is I actually went to Dodongos first instead of going upriver, because I decided I'm just going to beat it with the bomb choose, and I get the bomb bag right out there. So I had a nice route with all that. And so I basically had everything but strength and light arrows, right? By the time I was child cycle. So I'm like, okay, I'm skipping. I don't technically need there's one check that I need strength for in the game, right? For that seed. I'm like, okay, I need to skip it because I need to catch up to these runners by skipping things, right? And so I just didn't get back to it for a while. And my normal play style, I would have cleared it. But I was going, this is basically a jet. Lights are just somewhere I can get them. And you end up needing strength 3. So that, like, reading the meta when you're behind and you see other people finish, it can be a big deal in these races. Now, that's completely different for 1v1s, right? I think Decker's play for a 1v1 standpoint, like, if the other person isn't finished, like, density and even following the path, because Dins was on that path, even though Requiem was required and very likely to be the path there in ice.
Yeah.
It still could be pointing at that Dins, right?
Yeah.
We have not seen this archery, just more bomb juice.
Yep. So what are your feelings about these settings, Drew? I know you've been playing a bunch of, like, what are you playing, like MMR right now, or is it Wind Waker Rando? I forget.
Both.
Both? Okay.
The last Ooter seed that I played before yesterday was was my last league match. So, like, I've been out of the game for a little bit, like at least a month. And then this was like my second seed back. And I feel like these settings, because of like the excluded dungeon, in most cases not in this seed, and like the early foolish hints and stuff like that, I think it like really rewards good execution. So personally, like, I feel like these are catered towards me. I know, like, my execution wasn't amazing today, but generally it's pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like even yesterday I had 3 checks left in the game and I still finished sub 3, right? And so for me to be able to do that, I was just on the edge of top 64. We'll see if I can make it in season 7, but like for me to be able to do that, these are a lot shorter. They're a lot more palatable from a playtime perspective for runners.
Yeah, which is like really good for like a format like SGL, because I mean, like, when the live event happens, you're gonna be playing multiple seeds a day. Like, it's gonna be a lot.
Right.
So like having shorter seeds obviously is really good. As far as like logic reading and decision making, I feel like it's not like the most interesting shooter seeds I've played or like the most interesting settings. But like it's kind of just a trade-off, right? Like you kind of have to make that trade-off. And personally, I've never been super good at decision making or logic reading in the first place. So I like it's even better for me, I guess. Like there are some really smart people in this community, and I don't feel like I'm one of them.
Says a guy in the top 64 who outplays me in most races. But I have seen these be a little bit more straightforward, like you've been saying. There is some nuance with how the path hints are generated, just because the stone ones are hinted first, or not hinted, generated first. So there's a little bit of, if it's a required, like I had a seed where there were 3 paths to spirit, right? Because yeah. Oh, and Decker getting strength 2 here, so only needing to beat spirit, which is pretty quick.
Yeah, at this point he's probably thinking like, oh yeah, like of course.
Yeah,
It's just
at least
something on the
spirit is a nice quick go mode. You get
Oh yeah, that was like the friendliest spirit I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah,
like
you
it
could've
could have
given
been
that to a
friendlier,
child.
but it's probably the friendliest one I've ever seen.
So we can see if we can get Decker in here too. So yeah, I mean, I've personally enjoyed these as just a different set, kind of like I enjoyed Triforce Blitz, and I wish I got to play more than I did. Obviously I can go play them, but when people are playing, it's just sometimes it's good to play the longer sets of settings and do stuff like that, but this has been a nice, like, not too taxing, even if it is AD. And I do like the prelude start. It just makes certain things like less running around not doing anything, so it's been pretty enjoyable. I've been practicing a lot.
No, yeah, like I guess I didn't really say it, but like I'm a pretty big fan of the settings. Generally, I don't really have a problem with settings. Like in terms of at least like the more standard tournaments, I don't like using the word standard because of like the meanings it has within the community. But like the more standard settings, like not RSL, stuff like that, I'll generally just play whatever. Like I don't really mind. And I pretty much just enjoy playing the game, honestly, most of the time. Sometimes when you're in the middle of a seed, it feels pretty bad, but like, I don't know. It never feels like it's the settings' fault. Like,
yeah, I just think there's certain sets that are just bound. You get some really long times, and just sometimes it feels bad to have, like, you can't commit that much time. Because I would like to play some of the random setting stuff. I just can't do all of the like entrance randomizer stuff. I think it's kind of cool to figure out the settings and all that, but the combinations that can happen within those settings can feel overbearing at times, or too much time commitment. So this has been nice on a shorter side.
yeah, I don't mean to like I don't know, sort of like put down anybody that does enjoy those settings.
Oh, I'm not trying to
it's
either.
it's just not for me. Like it's
not for
definitely
me.
not my thing.
Also, apparently, Strength 3 is in the Spirit Boss Key chest.
Ah,
Oh, that's good.
which is strength 2 locks. So
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Getting the news. So field scrub is hard required, and it's in a bad spot. So Decker's just finishing spirit, and we'll get him in a little bit. But yeah, so far, you know, I think your placement yesterday wasn't too bad. So you've got 2 really good placements so far, Drew. Gav doing great, having a first and a third, I believe, in this race. So
Yeah, Gav got there with the 226. There was a lot of close sniping. Shoutouts to 5th, 6th, and 7th. 231-23 from Schulzer, 231-34 Balthier, and 231-36 from Red.
Wow.
That's 13 seconds separating those three finishes.
I mean, like, yeah, I guess it was like we were saying, like, that does kind of come with the settings. Like, since, like, things are generally pretty straightforward, I'm expecting a lot of closer finishes between players who are similar in skill level and stuff like that.
Yep.
Not to say, I mean, that sounds kind of conceited considering I came in first. But, that's not the way I meant it, I promise.
Yep. And Red going, he missed Dwarf one cycle, so that cost him that there. That would do it. Drew missed it too, so don't worry. But yeah, Red, my co-op partner, those settings should be announced soon too. So there's a lot of tourneys and Zelda rando going on. I believe there's another event on here. I don't know what is next after us, but they are right after the stream ends here. So.
Nice. Is anybody looking forward to the live event?
I am debating about going. Depends on a couple of things, but there's so many people going that I would like to meet and see that I want to. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, I would love to see you there. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't have my dogs, but.
Sorry, what was that?
I was like, I'm also debating going or not still.
Yeah, go. I mean, it'll be a lot of fun. So, I mean, if past years or anything to go by, like I've seen tons of pictures and stuff from people in the community, and it just looks like a really good time.
Except for going after playing these seeds.
I want to shout out another 3-second snipe for 15th by Jimbo, 245.18 compared to 245.21.
Oh, from Krez, yeah. This will be interesting. I'm glad Red had a good finish this time. He had a bit more of a struggle than I did on the seed yesterday, so that's good. Yeah, so overall, I don't know. I've been enjoying this. I'm looking forward to watching. Unfortunately, I may not be able to commentate. Maybe only one more. I have to play 4 more seeds. I can really only play on the weekends with the times for me, with work and travel and stuff that I have going on. But maybe I'll get to commentate one more. But I'll definitely try and do a little bit during the actual brackets.
Yeah, I think during brackets I'll probably be stepping up. Right now I just kind of have to focus on playing whatever quals I can make it into, basically.
Yeah. But it'll be exciting. It'll be fun. This event's always fun. And then heck, by the time the not online, the in-person is done, we'll be getting season 7 going again too. This whole year's felt like non-stop Zooter, really.
I feel like with Zooter, that's the thing. Like, everybody wants to host their own tournaments with, like, their own niche or gimmick or whatever, and, like, it kind of turns into just, like, non-stop tournaments the full year. Luckily, like, I don't have an interest in absolutely every single one, but, like, if you're into Ooter and have people to play with and just want to play the game, like, there's always an opportunity to play the game.
And we just got Decker up here. GG, Decker.
GG's.
Can you finish like
too.
5 minutes earlier, Drew? Just like 5 minutes. That would have been fine.
Why is that?
So you finished, and I was like very early in Shadow. Because like after I'd got bow, and I was like just looking for strength 2, I went for like mostly bow locked stuff. So I went into Ganon's and stuff. Then I got Nocturne to go into Shadow, and then like you finished. I'm like, okay, well it's like you've not got a strength from Shadow. There's no way. Like I've not done that badly, right? Then I'm like, okay, so there could be one in Shadow still, or I could try and metagame, but the only metagame is it's somewhere. Like it just could be like anywhere. So I was like, I'll just do Shadow. Hopefully I find the other one in here. I didn't. That was fun. But if you'd been like 5 minutes earlier, I just don't go in there.
Yeah.
We're talking about the metagame, and how it impacts. And Drew was talking about, you just wouldn't go into Shadow here because there's no way he would finish, and that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, if I'd not already been in Shadow, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, like that was pretty much my point. Was like, like from a metagame perspective, you probably don't go into Shadow, but like from the perspective that like there's another strength out there, you probably just finish Shadow since you're there, and like it's probably the best place to be if you're just trying to do checks.
Well, it is what it is. Like, I can't be too mad about most of it. Like, considering how some of the early game worked out, like, I mean, could have been a lot worse. So, shrug.
Yep. I definitely failed to metagame the seed yesterday. I did a bit there, so that's definitely a part for learning for me, and it's really interesting to hear you two talk about it from that standpoint. I mean, besides for that, and besides for the bow, this seed was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, I didn't get one of the paths, but I assume it was just pointing to something that was kind of on the way.
So,
well, I went and found it actually.
Is it CAC to Phantom Ganon?
It is CAC to Phantom Ganon.
That's the only thing it could be, is what we were saying, because the bows in GTG are bow locked. So, and then you have both hook shots available. You have both two strengths available, so you can't hint that, and you have both songs to get access to force. So there either was no force hint, or it had to be the bow. And since we knew where the bows were and they were bow locked, it had to be that.
Mm-hmm.
Where was it, by the way?
It was on the lake, like one of the lake hints. Back of
it
lake.
Was a lake hint.
And Deku Tree, apparently.
And one of the Deku ones, yeah.
Yeah, so, that makes sense.
Hints you wouldn't go to due to what you had, yeah.
Just check it after Forest.
So,
let me.
When did you go Southfield, Drew? Just out of curiosity.
It was after. Okay, so the start of the seed, I went to River CAC and then went up to clear DC because I wanted to find a bow before I went to GTG.
Yeah.
So I did DC into Goron City, into Crater, into like Lost Woods SFM or whatever. And like on the way, because I had magic, I placed furores in fire. I didn't want to go to GTG without a bow and without furores being open, so I figured I would just follow the Lost Woods Evolve path, try to find my hammer so I could beat fire, get my furores freed up, and then go to GTG. And then after I beat fire, I cleared Southfield on the way to GTG.
That makes sense. See, that's how I'd normally play, right? I feel like that's what I would normally do, but like, I was just like, you know what? This seed is a seed where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go GTG. We've got the path for it. I've got Song of Time, like I've got bombs. Like I can do a fair number of checks. There's a reasonable chance I can get the path, right? And if it's later, then I just go Child and I can do Jabu. And then like, obviously I went there, I got the boots and all that. So it didn't really pay off. I saw the two big chests in GTG. I was like, oh great, gotta come back here at some point. I don't have magic, so I can't set for wars. So I made sure to go back there at some point. It was, like it was definitely not the seed to do that, but
yeah, but like, I mean, I'm sure everybody thought about the early GTG play. Like, you'd be crazy not to. I think.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
You get the early opponents, and it's like, dude, somebody's gonna go do the early GTG. They're gonna get completely paid out and just like kill the seed.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, hey, I'll go. I'll be the one to do it this time. No,
because there's always that one guy.
Go to GTG with like no items, get all of them. You're like, oh, okay, very cool.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see all the items get collected at once because Drew went up the mountain first because Drew did the river first and got bombs, and then into CAC and doing all that while you went straight to GTG afterwards. Probably due to time of day with the wallet up there. Part of it.
No, like I kind of just opted. I just opted to do that because there's ways I could waste time of day as Child. if I hadn't already been planning to go to GTG, I kind of decided on GTG as soon as I got the bomb bag. If I hadn't been planning on going to GTG, I would have probably just left the wallet there, I think. Because I don't think it does that much. It's just like a bit more convenient early doors in the seed.
Yep.
So I just I picked it up because I knew I was going to GTG anyway. Otherwise, I'd have just kept the save that I had from the grotto to make sure I had time of day.
Yep.
Oh, that hint was funny too. In like the Valley hint in Valley. Like,
Oh yeah,
I got the
was,
wallet, dropped out, read the hint. I was like, yeah, I'll take a scale.
Yeah, very cool.
So I'm gonna have to wrap us up here. We have another race going on this stream right afterward. So I appreciate both of you for letting us watch a race. It was good,
That's
and
no
I wish
problem.
I wish you both luck in the rest of the quals. I'll be trying to play as well here. So, but yes, I want to thank both of our trackers, Mira and Shinnok. Thank you to Star for setting it up and hosting the tournament. Same with Mira, and then of course thanks for casting along with me, Derpy. It's been a pleasure.
It has been, and GG's both Drew and Decker.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for letting Drew ask or just tell you to put us on. I guess.
You two are always fun to watch. So yeah, looking forward to more Dad if you play in the. I'm sure there'll be another multi-world in the future. So.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thanks, and there will not be a raid. So look forward to what is coming up next on this channel. I'm sure we'll get a switch over and see what that is. But thank you so much, everyone.